Jacob Sugden has finally found the courage to speak out after recognizing that Dr Caitlin Todd has been mistreating him in Emmerdale. When the character returned to the show, she was described as layered and difficult to deal with, especially for Jacob. In the weeks that followed, her behaviour became increasingly unpredictable, shifting from encouraging his ambitions in medicine to casting doubt on whether he could ever succeed. Jacob hasn't been faultless, having made several errors, including incorrectly diagnosing Kim Tate and attempting CPR on Todd's father, despite a do not resuscitate order. Recently, however, the situation has turned more personal, with Todd settling in the village and digging into Jacob's history. Earlier in the week, Jacob arranged to switch shifts with a co-worker to avoid working alongside her. Hoping for some relief, he volunteered at a blood donation clinic instead. Unfortunately, Todd was already present and made things worse by bringing up Maya Stepney, someone from Jacob's past who had abused him. She referenced Maya through a connection with Liam Kavanagh, hinting at troubling events without stating them outright. Todd mentioned the difficulties Liam had faced, which left Jacob wondering if she knew everything. Gabby Thomas attempted to reassure him, pointing out that his name had never appeared in media reports, suggesting Todd couldn't be fully aware. When Jacob confronted Todd, she suddenly became emotional, claiming she hadn't realized the link and saying she didn't need the stress after recently losing her father. Caught off guard, Jacob apologized before later discussing the situation with Manpreet Sharma at the pub. Manpreet admitted she had previously mentioned Maya to Todd, which made Jacob realize Todd had been deliberately using the information to upset him. In the latest episode, Jacob appeared shaken, and Ross Barton encouraged him to stand up for himself. Ross suggested they try resolving things before the situation worsened further. Seeing Todd enter Tug Gill, Jacob followed her and stopped her from closing the door on him. She responded coldly, saying she had an appointment at the undertaker's. As tensions escalated, Jacob expressed his wish to transfer to another department. When she denied his request, he understood that he needed to take things further. Despite his hesitation, he went to Hotten General to speak with HR. There, he formally accused Todd of bullying and manipulating him, explaining that the behaviour had intensified over recent months. The question now is how Todd will respond to these serious allegations. Emmerdale has given an update on Charity Dingle's future as her intense pregnancy storyline reaches a major turning point. Actor Emma Atkins has shared insight into what lies ahead for the character, as upcoming episodes show Charity going into labour. In recent months, Charity has been at the centre of a complicated storyline after agreeing to act as a surrogate for Sarah and Jacob Sugden. However, the situation became far more complicated when she slept with Ross Barton. Her husband, Mackenzie Boyd, still believes he is the father of the baby, unaware of the truth. Ross, on the other hand, knows everything but has stayed silent at Charity's request. The drama escalates next week when Charity goes into labour, with both Mackenzie and Ross present at the birth, an extremely uncomfortable situation for her. Matters take a serious turn when Charity suffers heavy bleeding during labour. Emma Atkins revealed that Sarah steps in with an emotional speech just as Charity feels unable to continue. Shortly after, severe complications arise, creating a tense and chaotic atmosphere similar to a medical emergency, with doctors rushing around as the situation becomes critical. Although Charity's immediate concern is her survival, there is also growing pressure as the truth about the baby's paternity threatens to be exposed. Such a revelation could have devastating consequences for those around her. Atkins explained that Charity will be under constant strain, knowing that one wrong word, especially from Ross, could reveal everything. While she has always been resilient, she understands how damaging the truth could be if it comes out. Once she recovers, Charity will eventually have to hand the baby over to Sarah and Jacob. Despite everything, Atkins believes this won't be difficult for her, as she never developed a strong maternal attachment during the pregnancy and views herself purely as carrying the child for them. This also rules out any possibility of Charity raising the baby with Ross, as their relationship remains unstable and filled with conflict. Atkins added that she has enjoyed being part of such a demanding storyline, highlighting how it allows the character to show vulnerability rather than always appearing strong. Looking ahead, she hinted that there is still plenty more drama to come, revealing that she has already discussed future developments with producer Sophie Roper and is excited about what's next for Charity. Emmerdale star Joe Warren Plant has shared his reaction after former co-star Matthew Wolfenden made his debut in rival soap Hollyoaks. Plant, who plays Jacob Sugden in the ITV drama, previously starred alongside Wolfenden, who portrayed his on-screen father figure, David Metcalf. Wolfenden has now taken on a new role as Jonah Keane in Hollyoaks, with his storyline already beginning in dramatic fashion. Despite the move to a competing show, Plant made it clear he fully supports his former colleague. He said he was genuinely delighted for him and expressed how much respect and affection he has for Wolfenden. He also noted that after appearing in pantomime and performing in a West End production, it's great to see him back on television, doing what he does best. Wolfenden had earlier explained that his exit from Emmerdale came after he was offered a role in the stage adaptation of Elf, which forced him to make a difficult decision about his future. With his contract nearing its end, he chose to leave after many years on the show in order to explore new opportunities. He emphasized that his departure wasn't due to dissatisfaction, but rather a desire to try something different in his career. Meanwhile, Plant also commented on a current storyline in Coronation Street, which echoes a plot he was involved in years ago. He admitted he hasn't followed it closely, but is confident the show is handling the subject well and highlighting important issues. He added that storylines like these are vital for encouraging conversation around serious topics, and said he plans to watch and see how it develops. Trouble is mounting for Bear in Emmerdale, as his time behind bars takes a dangerous turn that could destroy any hope of freedom. Bear has been on remand after admitting he deliberately killed Ray Walters in order to protect his son Paddy Kirk, especially as the police were getting dangerously close to uncovering Paddy's role in covering up the crime. Things became even worse when it emerged that Ray had set him up before his death. Evidence showed that money had been secretly placed into Bear's account, making it appear as though he had been working with Ray all along, leaving his defense in a very difficult position. With the trial approaching, Paddy has been desperate for his father to stay out of trouble, knowing there's already very little working in his favour. However, his hopes are shattered when Bear does the opposite and becomes involved in a prison fight, resulting in him being placed in solitary confinement. This reckless moment could seriously damage Bear's chances in court, pushing his hopes of release further out of reach. For Paddy, the situation is becoming overwhelming. Still struggling with his own mental health, the idea of his father being locked away for good is something he can't bear to face. As the pressure builds, Paddy begins to think about how he can help Bear, even as he and Dylan Penders face the possibility of lengthy prison sentences themselves. The question now is whether Paddy can find a way to save his father before everything spirals even further out of control. Emmerdale airs on weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.